Well, good morning, and welcome to the Isn't It Time Facebook Live show. Today, we are going live after numerous technical difficulties today. So as you pop on this morning, can you let me know if you can hear me? Just send me a message if you can. I've got two computers trying to run here while we get this live up and going today. So today we're talking all about habits, how to make your 2019 intentions an absolute reality. So let me know, how was your new year? How was your Christmas? I'm struggling a little bit with my voice today. We arrived yesterday back from our wonderful trip to Canada, and it was a long flight. We hit a couple of storms coming out of Vancouver, yay, and into some strong headwinds. So we ended up, we were supposed to arrive at, I think it was 7:15 in the morning. We ended up getting it about 10:45. So by the time we were ready to be done yesterday, we were done. We were really done. It was a big trip, but it was a great trip. We had a fabulous time. It was just great connecting with our children. Hello, Tracy. Good morning. Good morning, Donna. Just love you as you're collecting. Can you let me know if you can hear me? Good morning. Yeah, what a glorious day in Brisbane. It's lovely. I went for a walk this morning, my normal time, 5 o'clock, sort of thinking to myself, wow, 24 hours ago, we were 0 degrees, and here I am, thank you, able to get out. We're very, very blessed in this country, very blessed in this country. I think sometimes we maybe take it a little bit for granted. Everywhere we went, had to have the boots and the hats and the gloves and the scarves, and it was very difficult to get around. But it was do I look fabulous? Oh my God, thank you, Tracy. Oh my gosh, it's been a fabulous. Well, look, honestly, I've got to tell you something really, really interesting. For those of you who know, I created a program, a couple. Oh, thank you, Will. I created a program, I guess you call it a program last year, called the 2 and 20 Principle. And it was a way that I wanted to be able to teach the people that I work with and myself how to implement habits really easily. And I've been following Lee religiously for a year, and was really interested when I went back to Canada this time, the amount of compliments I got about how I looked, and because we walked around in tights and sweaters and stuff. But then I got home and thinking, oh my gosh, after all that, we drank eggnog and Grand Marnier, and every morning we'd have a cup of tea. And first, when we were away, we'd had a little bit of Grand Marnier in the morning, to a cup of tea. And when I had to drink it on its own, it was a bit, it's a bit funny. But I've come back, not an ounce of weight on, which I thought was really, really interesting, that a 2 and 20 principle really works. So I'm going to give you a link later on, because I'm actually on my phone today. I can't access my computers for some reason. I am going to put a link in later on to the 2 and 20 principle. It really, really works, creating habits in less than 20 minutes a day, and they work. They absolutely work. Today, we're going to be talking about how you actually implement your habits. I'm just trying to get my notes up here. How do you make 2019 a reality? How do you actually do that? How do you take your intentions and turn them into reality? As few of you know who've been, on my Facebook, thank you for those who have been messaging. Yeah. It was Donna. It's phenomenal. For those who have been messaging, our Christmas was incredible. We actually intended that Christmas on the 29th or the 30th of, I'm just getting my notes up, on the 30th of December 2017, and it played itself out absolutely as we had intended. Right down, and I have to share this with you, I don't know if we took actual photos of the house, but the house we stayed at was a place called Nanaimo, which is on Vancouver Island. And there obviously my husband, and there's my son and his wife and our 2 daughters. And I wanted a house that gave everybody enough space. We all kind of don't live together and want to be able to give everybody their own space. I wanted a fireplace. We wanted a big kitchen with a big kitchen bench island because we do a lot of cooking. And I wanted something to overlook the water. Well, this house we found didn't have one fireplace. It had 3 fireplaces, including one in our bedroom, and they're all gas. You don't have to chop wood or anything. The big island bench actually seated 8 people. Everybody had their own space, including their own bathroom, and we were right on the water. So it just was absolutely phenomenal. It was exactly what we wanted. And from day one, every day we did incredible things. And so it really showed me how important it is that you are very specific about your intentions. And then I'm going to go through like the 8-step manifestation process that we created. Sorry, I'm just trying to get these notes up. Oh, Donna, it was amazing. We drove up one day and we thought we just want to see a little bit of snow. You know, I've lived in Canada, I've seen snow before. But we drove up this day, we're going up to Mount Seymour, and we were back in Vancouver, and it was kind of raining, no big deal. By the time we got to Mount Seymour, there was so much snow. We parked the car, we went for a walk. It was just absolutely beautiful. And here we go. And so it just, one thing after the other, we caught up with friends. We had a great New Year with some people. It was really just the most magnificent holiday. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it was intentional. We created the intention for this, and that's what happened. So I'm just going to go through this now. First of all, let me know, while I'm doing this, trying to let this up, what did you decide for your word? Remember the last one we had? We talked about creating a word for the year. Donna, I think I saw yours was limitless. So let me know what you created, what word you decided to use. And anybody else, Elle, Tracy, let me know, because the word is really powerful. As I said, I think mine last year was limitless. It's transformed this year. And, you know, then I create sort of my intentions out of that. Limitless. Yeah, Donna, that's awesome. I think I saw that somewhere you'd posted that. Yeah, so, you know, how does that work for you? How does that work in everything that you do? And I know you work with clients too. Yeah, fantastic. Already, yeah. It will. It's incredible when you shift that emphasis onto focusing on a particular word. And then what I do every night before I go to bed, so mine's transform. So my question in my head is, before I go to sleep at night, is, okay, how do I transform the lives of my clients or those who I come in contact with today? How do I transform my own life? And that's the question I go to sleep with every night. Change, Tracy, that's awesome. So again, you know, what does that change look like? How does that implement for you and what you want? Elle, still can't decide. Yeah, so Elle, I get it down to about 2 or 3 if you can. You know, it doesn't matter when it happens, but if you choose that word and then kind of work through it, and eventually one will just resonate with you. We'll just kind of go clink. Oh, that feels really good. That feels really good. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for those resonance. I mean, there's another word that's sort of hanging around with me at the moment that I'm still maybe change. I'm not quite sure, but transform I'm staying with at the moment. All right, so once you've decided on your word, and then how will that implement? My way, I'm so open to all that is, and find it is all flowing so beautifully. Beautiful, Donna. Yes, I love it. I love it. So, yeah, Elle, it will. More journaling will help. Try not to, one of the things about manifesting, my motto this year, Donna, is be valued, be limitless, be extraordinary. Oh, I love it. Now, Donna, I would look at be valued. So I'm going to share this 8-step manifestation process in a moment, but that's really cool. That's great. You know, I have mine. I haven't changed my word yet. Still on my vision board behind me last year's. I like to get it more printed out and beautiful, printed out nicely. So yeah, when the blocks come up, that's when you look to begin to ask that question, because the blocks will come up. They'll come up. That's the reality. But it's just like, okay, well, what is this trying to tell me? Where am I going with this? So here we go. I want to share with you the 8-step manifestation process. Now, this is the process I used all last year, and as our time in Canada was playing out, I was getting these real aha moments. So it's like, oh my God, that's exactly what oh my goodness. Gee, if I hadn't done that, this would have happened. So what I did was create a little kind of step-by-step process. So the number one thing to manifesting what you want is you have to make a decision. So it has to be a decision. So on December 30, 2017, I wrote, we will have Christmas in Canada with the kids. That was my manifest. That's the decision I made. Now, interesting this year, because we were talking about this with the kids this year, what are we going to do for Christmas next year? And it's interesting because 2 of them want to go to Mexico. 2 of them want to go to Montreal and have a winter Christmas. And 1 wants to go to Hawaii. So we couldn't kind of find a happy medium. We couldn't kind of find that place where we're all happy. So what we decided to say, okay, our intention is we will get together for Christmas next year, and we're open to the possibilities of where we will be. So that was the intention we set, because we just couldn't. Last year we were very sure on what we wanted to do. This year, everybody had a different opinion. And there was valid points in each of the opinions. There was valid points in each of the reasons why somebody would want it there. And there was valid reasons why some people didn't want to go there. Like my 2 girls want to go to Mexico, and my son and his wife, that's not them. That's kind of not them, lying around the beach in the sun. That's not them. And it's not really me either, I've got to say. 2 of us want to go to Montreal, but the others didn't because of the weather. So it's kind of that stuff we've got to all work through. But the first thing is, 1, make a decision. Then once you've made the decision, 2 is to create the vision. Okay, what does this look like? So for me, when I made that intention last year, I created a picture in my mind, not really knowing how it was going to impact. I created a picture. I imagined the kids, interestingly enough, one of the things they did Christmas Eve was they found a jigsaw puzzle in one of the cupboards at a house. And they sat around all night Christmas Eve and all Christmas morning, which was lovely, putting together this puzzle. And I thought, oh God, I pictured that, them all sitting around the fire talking, and it was just lovely. And then I realized it was part of my vision. So make a decision, create the vision. Number 3 is plan the implementation. Okay, how are you going to do this? Now, it's got to be a step-by-step process. So you can't just decide to go on a trip to Canada to have 2 weeks away, doing everything we want without step-by-step how are we going to make the money to do that. We're going to set aside some money, each week some money goes aside for that. Make sure the credit card's paid off. How can I increase the income? Jerry looked at, what deals that he could do to ensure that we had plenty of money to go. So it had to be an implementation. You've got to plan that implementation. Things don't happen on a wish and a prayer, right? So many people wish for things, but I've been around long enough in this industry. You can't do anything without actually doing something. Actually physically do. You just can't intend it. And I remember a book by T. Harv Eker, and he said, I've never yet met a man who can meditate and a bag of gold will fall on his head. It doesn't work like that. You have to plan the implementation. Okay, so whatever you wanted to, how are you going to do that? What are you going to do? The 4th is to commit to action. Okay, so you've planned the implementation, then you need an action plan. You need an action plan. Okay, what am I going to do each and every day? And that's where the 2 and 20 principle comes in, which is the principle I wrote last year, which was how do you do it in 20 minutes a day or 2 minutes a day, how you get your habits sorted out, what are you not going to do any longer, what are you going to do, and it's got to be daily. Remember, it has to be daily. The implementation has to be daily. If you want to lose weight, you have to do something daily. Something small, not big, because you don't stick to it, something small. You have to commit to that. Now, you guys know what I do every morning. Every morning I meditate. Every morning I go for a walk. Every morning I do my exercise. Every morning I tap, and every morning I write my journal. They're my non-negotiables. But it's all done in, an hour or something, because I've got it down to 20 minutes. The next one, number 5, is to ask the right question. So when the block comes up that Donna was, thank you, Donna. When the blocks come up, Donna, you were just mentioning before, if they do come, which they will, I mean, that's because of the nature of it, it's to be able to ask the right question. What's the question that will clear the block? It's not getting caught up in the why. Why isn't this happening? Why has this always happened? Why me? It's about, okay, what do I need to see here? What do I need to release here? Now, each and every step of this has a sticking point. You know, so some people it's making a decision. It's difficult to make a decision. For other people, it's difficult to create the vision. So each of the steps actually has blocks in them. So it's working through those that can make them happen. Ask the right question, which leads to number 6, which is transform each limitation. And that's where we go with tapping, with EFT. It's transforming each limitation. Now, the challenge with this to transform the limitations is you have to be brutally honest with yourself, because you are 50% of whatever's going on. So it's not about blaming the economy or the world or the partner or your upbringing. It's about realizing you're 50%. Now, when we were in Canada, and I'm not sure whether it's been quite on the news here, but my daughter works for CBC in Canada, so we watch that deep, intensive news about the shutdown, the shutdown in the US, where the federal employees haven't been paid since before Christmas, and it's creating really this incredible uncertainty. You can feel it. You can feel people feeling, I don't know what's going to happen next. And so when you recognize that you can see what's happening in the world, but you can be removed from it, that's when you realize you can release the limitation. So the stuff that's going on right now, the stock market crashing, the real estate market going down, stuff that's happening in the US, the very much uncertainty, is that you can watch that, but you're not part of it. Does that make sense? You're not part of it. Stephen Covey talks about circle of influence versus circle of concern. You can be concerned about things, but recognize that's not you, because you are in charge of your actions and your life. It's up to you. If you fall in to believing that whatever happens out there impacts on you, that's when the limitations come up. So that's number 6. Number 7, trust your intuition. The minute you go through all these steps, your intuition is hyper. It just goes on mega stuff. And, my daughter and I were laughing about this, because when we were choosing the houses, my middle daughter and I were the ones kind of doing all the research on it. And we chose this. There was 2 houses that we could have chosen. And I said to her, I just feel this one would be better. And she said, no, I do too. I don't know why. I don't know why either. It felt right. So trust your intuition. And when you trust your intuition after you've been through all the steps, that's when it really will work. But it's when you get stuck on any of those steps going along the way, that's when the challenges arrive. And you tend to make decisions not based on your intuition. I have a thing, whenever I'm getting stuck in a situation, I'll say to myself, I'm not worrying about this. I will find a solution. I will always find a solution. That's what I believe. Trust my intuition to do that. And number 8, release all expectation. That's the biggest one. It's to release the expectation. It's not about making life perfect. It's about releasing the expectation of how it will look, because many times it can be better than you think possible. Many times, the minute that you do all these steps and then release the expectation. Exactly. Thank you, Debbie. How cool are you? I would love to have done that today, but I can't. What would you say, Donna? I just want to go back at massive. Intuition is imperative, and you have to go with the feelings of intuitive. Exactly. Now, I just want to add something to that, because that's a very valid point, very good point too, Donna, is that your intuition and your fear often exist in the same place. You often feel fear in your gut, and often you'll feel your gut in your intuition in your gut as well. So it's being able to separate what's fear and what's intuition. And that's the power of this, being able to plan the implementation. Thank you, Debbie. That's awesome. Yep. So those are the things. Those are the 8 steps. Now, as I mentioned before, at any given point in time, there are blocks along the way, and you learn about yourself in those blocks along the way. So make a decision. If you have trouble making a decision, what is that? Where in the past has making a decision actually worked against you? So, times in the past where perhaps you've made a decision and it's been the wrong decision. Or you were planning, you had big expectations for something that didn't attend. Or, maybe you married the wrong guy, I don't know, or went out with the wrong guy, or whatever it is. So sometimes there's a block in that being able to make a decision. Number 2, create the vision. Again, the block, maybe I'll never get what I want. I've done this in the past. So each of the steps actually has blocks in it, built into it. And that's what you are working for all the time, to release it. And that's, of course, why tapping is so powerful. Before I move on, and I'm going to put the link in after this, I've got a workshop coming up next Friday here on the Gold Coast, 9 to 12. It's to tap into your success. We're going to go through each of these steps, and I'm going to help you create the plan and the implementation. It's here in Southport. There's only 2 spots left for that workshop, and that's where we're going to go through this. 3 hours we're going through this, and you're going to go individually through this. And then, of course, if you really can't make the workshop and you really want to do some more, my VIP strategy sessions, coaching sessions can really help. I'll pop links in after this if you're interested in it, or just send me a message. Send me a PM, say, yeah, I'm really interested, I want to know more. Donna, yes, decision making, it's taken me so long to be confident about decisions. Oh, really? Oh, and I've just light bulbed it. Yoo-hoo! Yes, isn't it interesting? Oh, yes, Tracy, I'm so looking forward to you coming. That's awesome. Really cool. Really cool. Yeah, it's going to be a power pack morning. I'm really excited about it, actually, because I learn as much in this as well. So it'd be great to sort of have you. There's a great group of people coming too, which is lovely. But yeah, I've only got 2 more spots left for that. If you're interested, anybody else is interested. And as I said, the VIP strategy sessions, VIP coaching days, I'll put a link in for that as well when we've finished this today. So what I want to show you now is how to tap, how to use tapping to help. Where are we have time? Okay, I've got 6 minutes. How we can do this for tapping. So looking at those 8 strategies, which Debbie was so wonderful in putting those together. Thank you for Debbie for doing that. Look at any of those implementations. So whether it's I struggle with making a decision, I struggle to create a vision, I struggle with the planning of the implementation, that's where I struggle. I struggle with committing to action. Committing to action is about habits. Okay, that's where the 2 and 20 principle works. I struggle with asking the right question. That can be really difficult because, oh, thanks, Deb. It's about, how can I fit this in? And asking the right question is your ability to stop yourself from shifting. When you do that, find yourself going into the negative and you're halfway down the track realizing you're being negative, you didn't want to do that. Come back, stop and ask yourself the right question. And of course, the big one, transforming limitations. That's huge because the decision to do something will bring up the limitation. It just does. It's the way it is. It just brings back that. I've worked with a lot of women who wanting to. Oh, thank you for all the hearts. That's lovely. I work with a lot of women who are wanting to, go up a rank if they're doing network marketing, or they want to ask for a pay rise, big one. Even if they want to have their own business and they're wanting to move it up to the next level, the limitation comes up each and every time. Every time you're ready to go to the next level. It's just the way it works. It's like the imposter syndrome comes in over again. So any of that, and trusting your intuition, of course, and then releasing all expectation. I remember having a chat with my daughter, I think in August, and she said, Mum, I just want this to be perfect. And I said, no, you want to just intend it to be the best possible outcome. That's what it is, because it can never be perfect with all of us in the car together. So, bless my children, they zipped their lips for 12 days, which was what they all just played nice, which was very, very nice. All right, let's do some tapping on this. I want you to focus on something you really want this year, something you would really like to achieve. What is it? And I want you to measure your level of belief that it's possible. What's the thing that you struggle with the most, you think, of those 8 steps that we went through? Okay. And let's tap. And I want you to just, where do you feel it? The frustration? Let's use frustration. Let's use frustration, shall we? Here's a word. Okay, here we go. Even though I know what I want, I think, but sometimes I feel so frustrated. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though it doesn't always pan out as I expected. And it can feel really frustrating. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though I'm looking at this right now, I know what I want to get. I know what I want to achieve. But sometimes it can feel frustrating. And if you can, pick one of those 8 things. Maybe I don't know how to ask the right question, or maybe I can't commit to action, whatever it is. Okay, tapping. This frustration. I find it really difficult sometimes. I know what I want. But sometimes something blocks me. This frustration. This frustration. Sometimes it feels so frustrating. I know what I want, but it feels so frustrating to get there. And take a deep breath. Oh, Denise, has it stopped? Anybody else see me? I'm just still seeing it still on, but I'm going to keep on going. Please don't tell me it stopped. I'm okay. You're okay. Oh, phew. Thanks, Deb. I know I'm doing it on my phone, as I said today. Nothing else seems to be working in this house today. I'm okay. I can still see you, Anita. Thank you. Thank you, Elle. Cool. Denise, it might be your connection. I don't know. But I don't know. We've had to be, as I said, we're not connecting anything at the moment. All right. Thank you, Karen. You can see me. Okay, so I want you to measure. Now, it's a bit difficult doing this live, this particular one, because there's these 8 steps for implementation. But it's looking at each of those 8 steps and seeing where your frustration lies in it. Difficulty making a decision. Elle, that might be for you. Difficulty making a decision. The frustration not being able to make a decision. Okay, what you want to do is get underneath that. You want to get underneath the reason why you can't make a decision. You want to get underneath why it's difficult to plan the implementation out. You want to get underneath the difficulty in committing to action. That's the key. It's 66 days to change a habit. You've got to commit to it for 66 days. And then, of course, transforming limitation. All right, I'm going to do a quick, because we're running out of time, I'm going to do a quick reframe. Oh, my voice is not going to last much longer either. And so that's how it kind of does it. Make the commitment to go through each of those things. Tap on the frustration. Write next to you a piece of paper or your journal what comes up, the thoughts that come up. Remember, once you kind of release the emotional connection to the memory, your intuition starts to flow. Memories will start to come up. You go, oh, I get that's that pattern I've got. I get that's that pattern, and let it flow. Cool. All right. Let's do a reframe. Let's go. Here we go. Oh, fantastic, Donna. Oh, thank you. Yeah, let's break through this in 2019. It's a 3-year, apparently. A 3-year. I'm going to post it somewhere. My good friend Mari Smith posted something about it the other day. It's a 3-year, new beginnings, new intentions. So lovely. All right, here we go. Even though in the past I felt frustrated, I choose in 2019 for my intentions to become reality. Even though in the past I've had this block, I choose to forgive myself to make these intentions a reality. Even though, one more time, I know what I want, I choose to release all limitations for me to make these intentions a reality. Tapping, I choose to forgive myself. I choose to forgive all those who've stood in my way in the past. I choose to be kind and gentle to myself. I choose to stay focused. I choose to be open to all possibilities. I choose to create the powerful vision, to commit to action, and I choose to trust my intuition. Okay, just take a deep breath and let it go. All right, let me know how you went. If it, the good thing about this, there's not such a delay as there is on BeLive TV. Those guys are kind of, I don't know what's happening with BeLive at the moment, but anyway, there's not such a delay. So let me know how you go. Any questions you have, remember, I'm going to put the links below to Friday's workshop. And if you want to have a 30-minute discovery session with me, talk about the VIP Success Day, I'll put those links in, or just PM me. So thank you, everybody, for today. I'd be really, really keen next week to hear how you went. What came up for you? What were those sad faces for? Oh, you're welcome, Elle. Thanks for being here. Welcome, Anita. You're welcome. Thank you for jumping on this Saturday morning. I might go back to bed now. No, I'm not. I'm fine. I talked myself into being fine. We brought home this little cold. Oh, Marinda, hi. Thank you for being on. Thank you, Debbie, and thank you for taking those notes as well. That's just awesome. Thank you, everybody, for a great show today. Please reach out if you have any questions. And, BeLife. Thank you, Elle. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll chat next. Oh, divine timing. That's awesome. That's awesome, Anita. It always is, isn't it? Always in divine timing. Yes, as I mentioned, we brought back this cold, and it's going to take a little care for ourselves. Oh, thanks, Tracy. I look forward to seeing you next Friday. That will be wonderful. Can't wait. Great group of people coming. Okay, everybody. Thank you all. See you soon. Bye.